When we said we were going to China, many people asked us if we were going to Beijing.
Beijing. Beijing. We have arrived in Beijing.
Although we didn't know much about what is in Beijing, other than the Great Wall and the Forbidden City, it was definitely a city whose name was familiar to us, being the capital of China and all. We also have close friends who had grown up here, so even though Beijing was out of the way from our plans to travel west through China into the stands, we decided to go see what it was about. That said, welcome to Beijing. But since we left off last episode still in Suzhou, we forgot to actually get to Beijing first. And so for the first time in our lives, we boarded a 15-hour sleeper train.
Oh, yeah.
16, 18?
Oh.
Uh-oh. You're here.
진짜?
I think we got in different rooms. 19, 16.
Oh, we already started leaving. It's so smooth.
So we were in a different cabin.
We were only 2 numbers away, so I thought we would be in the same room, but we were not. But it looked like there was a party of like 5 or 4 people that were in the next door, but then one of them was in this room with Ahi, so we just switched it. And luckily it's the same spot.
It's the storage room.
Yes, storage. This is actually very nice. 편해. 괜찮아. With that sorted, I'd love to tell you our troubles were over. But we learned pretty quickly that on a sleeper train, a lot comes down to who you end up sharing a cabin with. 여보 아니었어?
아니.
진짜 너무 아니었어? 타이밍이 어떻게 그렇게 좋아?
I can't hear anything, but I can smell it.
In our case, Ahi's bottom bunk neighbor was very generous with the amount of gas he released into the cabin. But what could we do? He was an old man and we didn't want to embarrass him, so we endured and slept our way into the next morning.
Goodbye, our cabin.
Beijing railway station.
So I didn't mention this before, but we knew with this timing we would catch Rebecca and Liam on their last full day in Beijing before they made their way off to Korea. And what better place to hang out with friends than the Great Wall of China?
Whoa, we're gonna get on one of these. You can see the wall.
Oh my gosh, 나 무서워.
Hi!
Welcome to
The Great Wall! And wow, was it a sight to behold. It was so surreal. I'd grown up reading about this wall in textbooks, and now here we were, standing on it. We had the whole day to catch up, and as we walked, or hiked, along the wall, it hit me how far this friendship had traveled. We had befriended Rebecca in Finland, who now lives in the States along with Liam, and here we were all together in Beijing. This was one of those moments we really wanted to cherish. Oh, and in case you were wondering, you don't just walk down the Great Wall. You take a toboggan.
You guys ready? We're ready.
Big smile, a funny face.
That evening, the group grew. The friends we'd met back at the wedding in Shanghai invited us to dinner, and we once again got to experience Chinese hospitality as our tummies quickly hit capacity. Then, like it always does, it ended. Everyone had lives to get back to. Just like that, it was back to the two of us. 3 more days in Beijing and no plan but a checklist and a creeping sense of travel FOMO.
By the way, have you ever experienced travel FOMO before? It's the crippling fear that you'll never have the chance to come back to this place again. So you try to do everything there is to not miss out.
The symptoms?
Constant scrolling of reels and blog posts searching for the must-go places, the must-try foods in city XYZ. You get the point. Sure, it's certainly a quick and easy way to learn about what a city has to offer. But if you are not careful, it's easy to go overboard, and soon you spend more time on Google Map reviews than actually walking the streets to see what's around. Instead of finding and choosing what means more to us and what we would enjoy more, we find ourselves relying on checklists that other people made. And with the help of AI, this becomes a pit even easier to slip into.
But we digress. Let's get back to Beijing. The next day began with rain. And having heard of the 798 Art District, we wanted to visit the area to fill up on some of the local art culture.
It's raining today though, so not a lot of people.
The 798 Art District, in short, is an area with old factories repurposed into a spread of galleries and cafes. But perhaps our timing was off. The main exhibitions weren't scheduled to open until a few days later. So after exploring a little, we settled down at a cafe for a much-needed work session, where we got to make some progress on our individual projects. Looking back, one of our struggles since before traveling was the question of how do we balance roles as creatives. Between the two of us, we had many things we wanted to create, but neither of us could handle everything. Our solution was for me to continue working on long-form content as Ahi started working on short-form herself. And if there was a simple enough short-form idea I could help create with my skill set, I would. We still worked on everything together, but we would also have our own outlets for creating when needed. It doesn't sound like much changed, but that respect for each other's creative boundaries was an important nuance for us to figure out. Later, Ahi found us this place on the map, the China National Film Museum.
It's one of the biggest film museums in the world. And we didn't know how to get the tickets, but it's free. And foreigners, they can just write their passport information.
And walking through the history of Chinese film, the sheer craft of it and the impact it had on the world, something got to me. Making a film is this enormous act of talent, art, and teamwork. So many people giving so much to make something that can move strangers, even years later. It's not like I didn't know this, but it sat with me for a while. Because in a small way, that's what we're trying to do too. Just the two of us with the GoPro and the camera, trying to make something that matters. It reminded me of a video we once made about living passionately, and it sent us back out with our drive renewed. On the way back, we stumbled upon a food street,
It's like a little food street.
which I guess was another step against the FOMO moment. And funny enough, it became our food street, one that we would return to every day for the rest of our time in Beijing.
어디서 먹었지 이 맛? 아 만두고기.
And then we saw them. The aunties. Oh, the aunties. You know the ones, the older women gathered in a group dancing to music. There was actually this one time when we took a red-eye flight to Taiwan and arrived around 4 a.m. And maybe an hour later we made our way to a park there and found ourselves surrounded by aunties doing just that. Ahi got to join them that time, and ever since she's kept an eye out for another chance to join. Well, it didn't happen this time, but sometime on this trip she said she would join them. Day 3, we got to tick off a big item on the checklist, the Forbidden City. Actually, forget big, it was enormous.
와, 나 그럼 너무 멋있다.
Oh, there they are. The snail, the yellow flag.
We were reminded once again how huge China is. Not just the country, but everything in it. It also actually reminded us of home. In Korea, we lived close to Gwanghwamun and the palace next to it, which was built 11 years before the Forbidden City, but had many similar elements in its architecture. It was also there that our guide told us something that would reframe for us what the term Chinese meant. She shared with us that China is made up of 56 different ethnic groups. 56. And soon we would get the chance to experience what that really meant.
I wonder how many visitors visit the Forbidden City every day.
Yeah.
Because it's not just the international tourists, it's also like Chinese people.
Quick tip, if you just explored the Forbidden City and came out with energy to spare, there's a pagoda just north of the city that will give you this. It costs just 2 yuan to enter, and every step up is worth it. Coming down, we found a shop that sold jjajangmyeon, which got us excited because it's a dish we eat all the time in Korea. But perhaps our excitement got our hopes up too much because it didn't quite taste the way we remembered it.
맛있는데?
한번 먹어봤으면 좋겠다.
조금 간장 맛이 더 강해.
한 번쯤 먹어볼 만하다. 신기한 게 여기 차 신호등은 없는데 보행자 신호등은 있어. 걷다가 중산 공원에 오게 됐습니다.
Nearby was a peaceful park with not many people around. It was quiet with plenty of shade, and it was there that we let ourselves decompress. No filming, no planning, no looking for meaning. I fell asleep on a bench while Ahi took the opportunity to scroll on another. It was a much needed break after a long day. We tried to go visit Tiananmen Square afterwards.
We made it through Tiananmen Square, I think.
But it was blocked off, so that one remained on the list, unchecked. So we went back to where we knew, our food street. Here we ended a long, full, exhausting day the best way we knew how, with some good, tasty food.
I love it. Johan's favorite side dish? Raju. 맛있네, 맛있네. And then the pickled garlic.
Day 4 was our last day in Beijing, and after the previous day we needed a slower one. We started the day late and had some food.
생선 한 마리 머리가 10,000원. Wow. Fried rice, Johan's favorite. It looks legit. 很好很好吃
Later, we thought we'd make our way to the Temple of Heaven, so we got on a bus. But along the way, we spotted a huge pop-up flea market. And Ahi loves a good flea market, especially if it's a pop-up. So off we got.
Flea.
Of course, he makes a beeline straight to the flea market.
Festival. I think one nice thing about here is that you get to see all the hipsters. 빈티지 세컨핸드를 좋아하긴 하지만 나는 가격이 조금 더 중요하기 때문에 여기서 가격이 조금이라도 높다는 걸 확인하는 skipping everything.
But we poked around for a while anyway before heading back to, you know it, our food street. One last time.
어쩌다 이렇게 여기만 세 번째 와, 그지? 어제보다 훨씬 맛있다. 어제 식당 I'm sorry.
And then it was time. We grabbed our bags from the hotel and made for the train station.
우리는 이제 베이징 레일웨이 스테이션까지 가서 시안으로 갑니다.
시안으로 갑니다. 여기 우리 지냈던 숙소
추천합니다.
완전
It's not like completely clean, but it's like
it's
clean
clean.
enough.
It's not new. But the service is really nice.
services they're really
They are
nice.
very kind. And I think the location is good. It's right by station 8 and 7. And over there is the
Food street.
food street.
일찍 왔으니까.
오, 너무 일찍 왔어, 우리.
웬일이야?
웬일이야? 서브웨이 타고 바로 이렇게 베이징 서로 오니까 they don't do the
Security check.
security check because we already did it at the subway station. Oh, here. B43, Xi'an, waiting.
Okay.
4 days in Beijing. That's what ChatGPT told us would be enough for the city. And no, we didn't do everything or make it to every Instagrammable spot. But looking back, that's not what mattered. What shines in our memory is the comment our guide made about the many faces of China. The moment we shared in a cafe in the rain. The passion at the film museum. And the food street we kept coming back to until it felt like ours. We came chasing the things everyone said we had to see. And the parts that stayed with us were ones nobody put on the list. So with our time in Beijing coming to an end, we booked the sleeper train to Xi'an, a 6-bed cabin this time since the 4-bed cabins were sold out. Except, it turns out they'd booked us in separate rooms again, and this time there was no hope for swapping. So after 3 days of just the two of us, we said goodnight through 2 different doors.
Guess we'll go separate ways today.
Next stop, Xi'an.
Oh no, we should have gone there.
And as always, we're Johan,
And Ahi.
aka JoAhyouu, and we'll see you in our next video. See you there.
아니, 이 노래 뭐야? 이 약간 중국어, 한국어가 이렇게 섞여 있네?